Then you can spotlight Prabhu. Kalyan Prabhu.
Vinimada Prabhu, can you make me co-host, Prabhu?
Yeah.
So we request all the devotees to welcome Sundar Nityananda Prabhu by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So over to you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langhe Degirim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurur Dinataranam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Paramanandar Madhav. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namastute Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarupasya Kripa Sindhupaye Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminathanamani Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayani Gauragata Damataya Nagara Gramatarani Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminathanamani Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvasesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So we will continue from the last session. We were speaking on Ramayana and the various insights that we can derive from Ramayana. And last session, we are talking about Dasharatha convening a meeting with all the important people of his kingdom. The topic, the agenda was Rama's marriage. And just then, the soldier came in and he said, Vishwamitra Rishi is waiting to see you. And Dasharatha, with all his ministers, they all rushed outside and ushered in Vishwamitra Rishi. And Vishwamitra Rishi straight away told Dasharatha why he has come. He said, I am conducting a yaga, and I am getting disturbances from the Rakshasas. So I would request that you send your son Rama with me to do yaga samrakshana. And Dasharatha was shocked. Dasharatha said, my child, my Rama is very young. He's not even completed 16 years. So how can he come and fight with Rakshasas? I won't allow him. He's a child. If you want, I can accompany you and I can do the Yaga Samrakshana. I can send my whole army, But I'm sorry, I cannot leave Rama with you. And Dasharatha also had a doubt because Vishwamitra Muni is such a great rishi. So he is very powerful. He created a whole planet for King Trishanku. So he's such a powerful saint. So he could have done the Yaga Samrakshanam himself. He could have easily annihilated the Rakshasas. So why is he seeking the help of Rama? So in order to clear his doubt, Vishwamitra said, once you sit in a yaga or a yajna or any spiritual activity, then you have to be internally and externally pure. It's very important. That's why before we get into deity worship, we always do achaman. And if you remember in the mantra, it is said that sabhahya abhyandara shuchihi. Bahya means external cleanliness, and abhyandara means internal cleanliness. So it is very important that as devotees, we are not only externally clean, but also internally also we should be clean. In fact, it is very easy to clean your externals. You take a bath, you put on fresh clothes, then you are externally clean. But maintaining internal cleanliness is very important. And this internal cleanliness is judged only by you. You know, if you put on a nice dhoti, kurta, tilak, you know, you are externally clean, you are considered as a Vaishnava, and you even guide others, lead others, give counseling to others. But then if internally, if you are not pure, what is the use? Yeah? You are simply cheating yourself and the society and the whole Guru Parambara, in fact. So it is very important that we remain internally also pure. And this introspection has to be done by each and every one of us. Sometimes externally we achieve a lot of things. We distribute a lot of books. We preach to so many people. Many people, you know, they may be under us, they may be chanting, they may take initiation. But then, are you internally pure? So we should not get misguided by our external achievements that we make within the moment. Because if we compare ourselves with the non-devotees in the material sphere, we'll see that they have made stellar achievements. You know, they have built huge industrial empires. They have, you know, initiated huge projects. They are far more successful than the kind of success we boast of. We hardly did a few things when compared to non-devotees in the external world. So we should not be misguided by our own external achievements within the moment and think that I'm pure, you know, I'm all right, I can go on like this. So it's very important that we do a lot of introspection regularly. Am I a good devotee? Am I really a Vaishnava that I boast of externally? If not, what are the impurities that I have within my heart? How should I clean them? These are all very important. Otherwise, it's like we say, the operation was successful, but the patient died. So here, Vishwamitra is saying, I can protect the yaga, but I'm not supposed to become angry with the Rakshasas. If I become angry with the Rakshasas, if I start fighting with them, then I lose my internal purity. Without internal purity and cleanliness, the yaga cannot become successful. So that's why he is asking for the help of Lord Rama. And Dasharatha keeps on telling him that, no, you don't know. My Ram is a small child. He's such a kid, and he is not at all a match against the so-called Rakshasas who are supposed to come to disturb your yaga. So please spare him. Like that he was again and again saying. So finally Vishwamitra said, Aham vetti mahatmanam Ramam satya parakramam. He said, I know Rama. He is Satyam, he is Param Satya, he is Parakramashali, he is very valorous, chivalrous. I know who he is. And not only me, Vasishta Rishi, your Kulaguru, he knows. But Dasharatha, I'm sorry to say, you don't know who is Rama. He may be your son, but then you actually don't know him. I know him better. So that is true also. Vishwamitra knew the real identity of Lord Rama. So how come Dasharatha couldn't know the identity of Rama? There are two reasons. One is Dasharatha considers Rama as his son, that's it. His Valsalya, that prevented him from knowing the greatness of Lord Rama as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Vasishta or Vishwamitra, they are very austere. They perform a lot of austerities. And because of their austerities, because they are constantly meditating on the Lord, because they have realized the scriptures, they could easily understand that this is Lord Rama is God himself. That's why in Narayaniam, if you see, when Hiranyaksha abducted Bhumi Devi, Varahadev appeared. And when Hiranyaksha saw Varahadev, he immediately exclaimed, this is a wild animal. Am I supposed to fight with this wild animal? I thought Vishnu is coming to fight with me. But after all, this is just a wild boar. And he started using bad words. He started humiliating Varahadev. But seeing the appearance of Lord Varaha, the sages started glorifying him. Because they understood, even though the Lord is in the form of a wild boar, he is Lord. But Hiranyaksha couldn't understand that he is Lord. So, we were saying that Vishwamitra did a lot of austerity. That's why he could understand Lord Rama. But then Hiranyaksha has done a lot of austerities himself. Sometimes the kind of austerities that these Rakshasas do, devotees are in no way a match to them. They do impossible austerities. So then why Hiranyaksha couldn't understand the Lord? Because they do austerities with an inferior motive. Austerities should be done, whatever be the austerity, to please Guru and Gauranga. Like we are doing Damodar month. Many people take up a lot of austerities during this month of Damodar. And many people follow Bhishma Panchaka, that's an austerity. So, if you don't do austerity with the right intent, if you don't do austerity under the guidance of our spiritual master, then all these austerities will not help us in realizing Krishna. Because Hiranyaksha did so much of austerities, but he couldn't understand that this is Lord himself. So if you do austerities, even within Krishna consciousness, with materialistic desires, that I want to get a lot of power, I should be recognized by everyone for my austerities, or everyone should accept my authority, I should become famous. Even within ISKCON, we can have materialistic intentions. So you don't have to think that just because I'm within ISKCON, I'm doing service, my motives are always pure. It need not be. Sometimes Maya is so strong that even within the devotee circle, we may, harbor materialistic aspirations. So it's very important that we perform austerities with the intention of pleasing Guru and Krishna. And if such austerities are done, then our heart becomes purified and we'll be very easily be able to realize Krishna. So Vishwamitra was saying, I know who is Rama. Dasharatha, you think about all the sages who are camped in your palace. Have you noticed that hundreds of sages are staying within your guest houses? Have you ever noticed that? What is the job of a sage or a rishi within the palace guest house? They should be actually sitting in the forest, meditating on the Lord. So why are they coming and staying here with you in your guest house? You think they are here to enjoy the luxuries of the palace? No. They're actually very intelligent, those sages. Why? Because they take up a lot of austerities, stay in the forest, and their only intention is to have at least a fractional the darshan of the Lord. They'll be happy if they get at least one time the darshan of the Lord. But here, if they come to your palace, they can see the Lord every day. They can interact with the Lord. So that's why they have left all their meditation, dhyana, tapas, everything, and they have come and settled here. So Rama is not the person that you think. You don't know him fully. I know him. So you please send him with me. And there is a Vagwada, happening back and forth between Vishwamitra and Dasharatha. Finally, Vishwamitra is becoming angry. And he said, okay, I thought you're a righteous king. In the beginning, you said, whatever you ask for, I'm there to give you. I'm your servant. You just order me. But now you're going back on your words. Anyway, you be peaceful. He told this in a very angry tone. Let everything auspicious happen unto you, in a very angry tone. And Vasishta immediately realized that the situation is now becoming very grave. And he knows the power of Vishwamitra. And he also knows that it is not good for Dasharatha to earn the wrath of Vishwamitra. And Vasishta is also an expert in Shakuna Shastram. So looking at the situation, he could understand that something auspicious is going to happen. Even though externally it looks like a challenge, Lord Rama has to go to fight with the Rakshasas. But despite all those things, Vasishta could understand that something auspicious is also going to happen. So how he understood that is because they are experts in Shakuna Shastra. That is, there are three things. One is Shakuna, another is Nimittam, and the third thing is Upashruti. You can decipher how the future is going to be if you closely analyze these three things. So Shakuna means Suppose you are going out of your house for something very important. And then if you see someone coming with a full pot of milk, then you can understand that your errand is going to become successful. Your project will be successful. Or if someone is coming with a lotus in his hand, then also it's a good shaguna. Or if a cow and a calf comes from the opposite direction, then it is a good shaguna. And again, if a cat is crossing your path, then it's not a good shaguna, not a good omen. But then sometimes what people do is, when they see the cat crossing their path, they throw stones at the cat. They're angry with the cat. But the cat is not to be blamed. The cat is only an indicator that whatever you want to achieve, right now, you'll have a lot of obstacles. It is not going to be easy for you. It is just an indicator of what is going to happen in the future. There is no point in getting angry with the cat or tying up the cat to make sure that it doesn't cross your path. It doesn't happen that way. So this is one way of understanding whether things are going to be auspicious in the near future or not. Another way of understanding this is nimittam. They call it nimittam. Nimittam means, suppose you are planning for, say, your daughter's marriage, and you have a couple of alliances in front of you, and you are a little confused, like which alliance to go for. So finally, you discussed with your family members, your friends, relatives. You also made some inquiries. And then you decided that probably I should take up this alliance. And then you are still confused whether I should call that person immediately and talk about the alliance, or keep it on hold, or check with some other alliances and then come back to this. So then, if suddenly the person whom you wanted to called you, then it is known as a good nimittam. You are thinking of calling him, but you are confused. But all of a sudden, he called you and asked, what happened to the alliance? Can we proceed? Then it is a good nimittam. So this is known as nimittam. And the third way of understanding the near future, it is known as upashruti. That means, again, the same example you can take. You are thinking about your daughter's marriage, and you are sitting out in front of your house, maybe in the veranda, and you are confused whether I should go for the plan a marriage this year, or maybe let her complete her studies and then we'll see, let her get a job and then we'll see. But then right now I have a good alliance with me, but she's doing her final year studies. So should I postpone this, or you're confused? So just when you are thinking about this, somebody walks by the street and they are discussing something about their things. They are in no way connected to you. But then one of the person is saying, see, marriage and all, once you get a good alliance, you should immediately do it. You should not postpone it. If you postpone it, you may not get a good alliance like this. So you go ahead with this, and don't postpone it. Like that, he's talking to his friend and they are going in the street. So that is known as upashruti. So Krishna is guiding you, through someone, that you go ahead, don't postpone, don't lose this alliance. So Vasishtha was expert in all these things. So he could understand that something auspicious is going to happen. And he told Dasharatha that you send Rama with Vishwamitra. Nothing wrong. Everything will be auspicious for him. So when the Guru, his spiritual master, gave him this advice, then even though Dasharatha had his own reservations, he immediately agreed. So that is one great strength of Dasharatha. Why Dasharatha was so successful in his life was because even though he was very intelligent, he was capable enough to take decisions, analyze things. But then, if his guru, if his spiritual master says something, then he will immediately accept it. Then there is no thinking back. So this is a very important quality that as disciples we all should have. So our intelligence may say so many things. We may be very intelligent with our studies. Maybe we got a gold medal during our studies. We are very successful in our office. But then that doesn't mean that we are intelligent with our spiritual things as well. I can decide on my own. No. How much ever we may be intelligent, we should always take decisions, especially spiritual decisions, especially decisions that are going to affect, influence our spiritual life under the guidance of a senior devotee or our spiritual master. We should not take independent decisions, because many decisions that we take in our life are irreversible decisions. Some decisions are reversible, but some decisions are irreversible. Once you make a wrong decision, that's it. You suffer for the rest of your life. So Dasharatha was very intelligent in this manner. Even though his intelligence, his common sense, his logic, everything told him that no, you should not send Rama with Vishwamitra. It's too dangerous. It's too big a risk. But then the moment his spiritual master told, no problem, you send him, he immediately agreed. So Lord Rama was sent with Vishwamitra for Yaga Samrakshana. And Vishwamitra, he's a great tapasvi, and he has earned a lot of powerful mantras through his austerities for many, many years. Through hard work, through very austere tapasya, he earned many mantras. In fact, he is the person who bestowed Gayatri mantra to the world. So he's such a powerful rishi. And Vishwamitra imparted all those mantras, the potency of all those mantras, to Lord Rama, which he earned through very difficult austerities through his entire life. And Rama got everything in a platter. Rama never went to the forest. He never sat in meditation for years together. He did not do any austerities. But he received all those mantras in a platter just like that, from Vishwamitra. So how was it possible? That is the power of Guru's mercy. When we earn the mercy of Guru, of our spiritual master, then everything happens. Then things become very easy for us. Sometimes we don't understand the power of Guru's blessings, Guru's mercy. The kind of achievement that we make with years of austerities and sadhana, with the Guru's mercy and blessing, we get it in a jiffy. So many people out there in this material world, they don't have a spiritual master. They don't even have the concept of a spiritual master. But luckily, by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, now we are all connected in one way or another to a very bona fide Guru Sishya Parambara, and many of us are initiated. We have spiritual masters. So it is very easy for us. We just have to please our spiritual master. Please senior Vaishnavas. Then we can very easily make advancement. The kind of advancement that we will not be able to, make with our own individual endeavors, austerities or sadhana. Like maybe we can chant 32 rounds, 64 rounds daily. We may be able to take up very austere fasting, Nirjala fasting, everything. But then all these things may not give us the kind of spiritual advancement that we aspire for. But if we somehow please our spiritual master, and it is very easy to please spiritual masters. They are so merciful. They don't demand great things from us. So it's very easy to please our Guru. And if we are very intelligent, then we'll always try to make spiritual advancement, not simply depending on our meager efforts or so-called austerities, but depend on Guru's mercy. And Krishna will also be very pleased when he sees that we are surrendered to our spiritual master. So it's very important that we understand the instructions of a spiritual master. We hear from him sincerely. Sometimes when we grow in Krishna consciousness, we fail to listen regularly to our spiritual master. So it is very important that we listen to the lectures of a spiritual master. Of course, it is very important to hear Srila Prabhupada's lectures and also the lectures of our spiritual masters. If possible, keep in touch with him. Always inquire from our spiritual master. How can I please you, Guru Maharaj? What should I do? What pleases you? It is very important to check and make sure that all our activities are pleasing to Guru and Gauranga. And that is the formula for advancing in Krishna consciousness. So thank you so much for your patience. And if you have some time, we can have a couple of questions. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hari Om
Hare
Tat Sat.
Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.
Prabhuji, regarding these Shakunas, how do we understand? Are the Shakunas applicable for Vaishnava devotees? Kindly enlighten us, Prabhu.
Shakunas are very powerful, but then if you have to decipher the Shakunas, what each Shakuna means, like I was giving a couple of examples, but there are so many other Shakunas that we have to be aware of, like what Shakuna indicates what. Again, the same Shakuna could mean different things in different situations. So we should be an expert in Shakuna Shastra if we have to derive a benefit from Shakunas. But since we are not experts, what the Shastras tell us as that you don't worry too much about Shakunas. Whenever you go out for something very important, always remember the Lord Guru and Krishna and chant the holy names and go out. And the scriptures even recommend that when you go out of your house every day, maybe you're going to your office or school, whatever it is, you always chant Om Keshavaya Namaha. You have to remember Keshava. Then everything becomes auspicious. Because even if you know Shakuna Shastra, and if you know that something is going to happen and which is not good for me, then it will only end up in creating a disturbance in your mind. You may lose your confidence. Otherwise, if you don't know how to solve that, like I have seen a bad omen, but what am I going to do about it? I don't know. So in Kali Yuga, especially, it is always better to chant the holy name, do Harismarana, and then go about with our activities, because Harinama is very powerful. Even if there is something inauspicious that is destined, by chanting the holy name, all those inauspiciousness can be cleared away very easily. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I just want to ask you, these days it is said that we should not believe in all these. This is Shaguna and all. It is Moodha Nambike. So what, like if we chant Krishna's name, or say Keshavaya Namaha, and have full faith in him, and put all our whatever we are going to do. If you're going to do an auspicious thing, think of him and do it, and rest of it leave it to him to take care of. That is what, like, I believe that is what is more than believing in the shagunas. Like, we look at the cat crossing, and I also feel it at times. The cat is crossing, oh God, what is going to happen? Then I tell myself, no, it's a mood and ambika. You should keep out of it. Can you throw some light on this?
Yeah, it is not moodanambike. It is not superstitious, because it is a shastram. They call it Shakuna Shastram. The moment you say Shastram, it is bona fide, it is scientific. But then, whatever you said, instead of worrying too much about the Shakunas, what is waiting for me in the future because of the Shakuna, instead of unnecessarily disturbing our mind, it is always better to invest our faith in Krishna's holy names, and then go about it. Because as I said before, even if you understand that this is a bad Shakuna, what are you going to do about it? Shakuna Shastra only gives you an indication about your future. It is not giving you a solution. So it is always important to go for the solution rather than understanding that something inauspicious is going to happen to me and create disturbances in our mind. So as you rightly said, go about with your activities, have full faith in Krishna, chant his holy names. Krishna will take care of it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So, how one should work on one's internal purity?
Yeah, it's a very difficult thing to do, because external purity, we know when our clothes get dirty, you don't need a big intelligence to understand that our clothes are dirty, or if there is dust on our body, we know it, or somebody else can point it out. Prabhu, you have something on your body, you have to wash it off. But internal purity, the first important step is we have to realize that there is some dirt within me. That is a very big step. And it is very difficult to come to that realization. Most of the times when we grow in our Krishna consciousness, or when we spend many years within Krishna consciousness, somewhere our ego tells us that now you are okay. You are a senior person. You are leading so many people. So many people are inspired looking at you. So you are internally pure. But that may not be the case. If you take even the example of Vishwamitra, he was very austere. He left everything. He left his kingdom. He was meditating, and suddenly Menaka came, and in a jiffy, he lost everything. He went for a trip, not for 1 day, 2 days, for many years. He was behind her. So that shows that internally he had problem, but he couldn't realize it. So there are two things. One thing is we should put aside our egos. People may give us so many titles and designations, that you are a senior devotee, you are a pure devotee, you are a great leader. That's all fine. That is their kindness. We should take it as their kindness. They are so kind that they are giving me all these designations, wonderful adjectives. But we should always consider ourselves as a layman, that every day should be considered as a first day in our Krishna consciousness. And we should always understand that any time, how much ever we are experienced in Krishna consciousness, we can end up in committing grave offenses and mistakes. And this is one thing that you have to tell your mind. I am also prone to mistakes. I am not Achyuta. I am Chuta. And we should be humble enough to take up the advice of our senior devotees. And we should also be very humble to seek their, guidance. Because at some point of time, we get into a position wherein we guide so many devotees. So somewhere we forget that I also need guidance, higher association. So we should not forget that. We should always regularly, go to our seniors and ask, Guruji, what should I do? I have such and such problems. How can I get out of it? We should have a humble attitude. Then we can come up with this internal purity. It is very difficult to do, of course. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. One more question, Prabhu. Prabhu, regarding this austerity, particularly when you do this now, we do this end of this Kartik, when we do that 5-day Bhishma Panchaka. So wherein we say that we want to take that austerity, but sometimes the family member says no, don't go that because it will be 5 days, will be weak. So in that situation, how we should handle that, Prabhu?
Well, the first thing is we should know what is our health condition, because austerity should be tantamount to our health condition. So are we healthy enough to take up that austerity? One thing. The second thing, certain austerities we are anyway supposed to take. Like Ekadashi, we have to fast. So there is no question about it. But the only question is whether I should do a Nirjal fast or Sajal, or should I take fruits. That we can decide as per our health conditions. So whether an austerity should be taken or not, like should I follow Bhishma Panchaka or not, that must be considered depending on the advice of our senior Vaishnavas or Guru. They have to tell us, should we go ahead with this austerity or not? And to what level of austerity we have to take, that we have to decide as per our health conditions. So these are the two considerations that we should have before we take up any austerity. But then the most important thing is, austerities are always taken up not for personal gain, but to please Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So thank you so much for enlightening this. So
Thank
looking
you,
forward
Prabhu.
for your association future.
Hare Krishna.
So let's all thank Sundar Nityananda Prabhu for chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
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 Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Vanchakalpatarubhasya cha kripa